make some peach turnovers today that are going to be super duper easy, vegan, and just delicious. So the first thing that we're going to do, I've already done this for about 6 peaches. We're going to use about 8 peaches today. The riper they are, the better they're going to be because they're going to be nice and juicy and sort of have that bit of sweetness without really having to add much sugar. So that's definitely a bonus. So the first thing you're going to do is take the skin off. It just doesn't really cook all that well, to be honest. Now, you don't want to just throw this away though, because that's like, goodness gracious, some good stuff there. So I like to actually use it in smoothies. So I'll just keep the skin and add it in smoothies. And now my peaches are really ripe, so they literally just came right off of the pit. But you might have to, you know, use a knife to sort of cut around that a bit more. And so from here, I'm using a manual food processor from Pampered Chef, which honestly just kind of helps to get everything nice and small, but then also keeps sort of all that liquid in, which we really like for the turnovers. If you don't have a manual food processor, you can always, you know, use your good old-fashioned knife and chop it up. If you have a different type of food processor that's not going to blend it into an oblivion, you can use that as well. But the whole key here, and I'll show you in a bit, is that we want some chunks, but then some juice and some of the liquid. So we have a couple more peaches to add. And then from there, this is how slick this thing works, which this is not an advertisement for a manual food processor, but it certainly could be. And so I just give it a few pumps. And it looks like we have this nice sort of thickness. I wanted to keep it kind of thick because my other stuff got pretty liquidy. So I already have my the other ones that I had chopped up, and then I added the juice of 1 lemon. I added a few dashes of cinnamon, and then I also added in some brown sugar. Now I only added in about 3 or 4 tablespoons of brown sugar. I find that when you use the really ripe peaches, you don't need a lot of sugar because there's just so much of that natural sugar. I'm gonna take a bite, just for good measure. It's a good thing it's just me and my husband eating this. Super tasty. Man, I can just eat that with a spoon. Also, this peach pulp stuff is really good over any kind of ice cream, yogurt, vegan yogurt. All the things. So we're gonna give that a little stir. So we have quite a bit of peach filling for the turnovers, about 3 cups. Now here's the fun part, and it's actually a lot easier than what you might think. So I have, first of all, I have the oven preheating at 375, so that way it'll be good to go. Now I have here a package of the puff pastry sheets. In each package there's 2 of these sheets, so depending on how much you're making, you know, it depends on how much you need, the whole package or half the package. For today we are going to use the entire package. Now if you have let it, so it comes in the freezer section, when you're unthawing it, you want to be pliable but still cold to the touch. And then from there, we're just going to cut it into quarters. So each sheet is going to make 4 turnovers, just like that. And then kind of, again, separate it out just a bit. Now when you unroll it, if it's still pretty frozen and if the seams fall apart or are not, you know, not sticking together very well, you can also kind of roll them, like pinch them together a little bit with your fingers, or even use a rolling pin and roll them together. And then we're just going to add a couple dollops of the goodness. My tendency is to overflow, but I try really hard not to. It's just that, you know, it's so freaking good. And I can already tell I'm gonna have leftovers, which again, I'll use it in yogurt, I'll use it in oatmeal, that's really good too. Or even in some vegan ice cream. I'll add one more to this guy. So you can see, super easy so far. And then to fold it over, I like to fold two edges together first, and then from here, so you kind of have to shake it around just a bit to make sure that you're not going to have a bunch of stuff falling out the seams. But this did not work out as well. I'm going to dump out just a bit. Kind of stuff it back in there. And squeeze it off. So you're basically just squeezing it off, and then you're going to go back around with a fork. You can kind of drizzle the top with some sugar if you'd like. This one's going to be too full too. You know, maybe. This might be kind of fun. Maybe I'll do more like this situation, like a little bit of a tart. That's the thing, this pastry dough sheets are actually pretty forgiving, and so you can always change it. I actually like that better. So we've just turned these from turnovers, traditional turnovers, to more like a tart situation. That's the beautiful thing about cooking, is that it gives you some flexibility. It also allows you to play with that creativity. Oh, that's gonna be beautiful. This first one did not turn out so beautiful, but that's okay. So this is gonna be one of those like easy summer desserts, whether you're having people over or if you just want something, you know, sweet for your own family. It's a really nice, you know, way to pack in some of the fiber there with that fruit, but then also get some sweetness. Okay, look at my fingers. So now we have the other sheet, which I ran out of space here. So I'm gonna get a big old plate. Because my cutting board is pretty used up as well, so I don't want to use that. And then again, I'm just gonna cut it in fours. So cut straight down the middle. And then cut it in half again. So I've tried to do smaller ones, and honestly I found that the squares are probably like the best in terms of dough to work with. And especially if you have a tendency to overflow like I do, definitely a good balance there. So we're gonna add all this up. I'm gonna fold these corners in, and they all, if you're working with the pastry sheets when they're cold but not all the way frozen, they bend really easily, but then they're also pretty malleable, so they're pretty workable. Almost up there. So the hardest part here really would be if you don't have anything to finely chop the peaches, but good news is that you could do this with any type of summer fruit. So you could do it with other stone fruits like plums or nectarines. You could also kind of do it with a blueberry. That would be really tasty. You can even do it with apples in the fall, which would be delectable as well. You could do it with raspberries, which would get kind of seedy, or, you know, strawberries too, which again I think would be kind of seedy. But these pastry sheets really work well with a variety of fruits. So it doesn't always, you know, sometimes I think the pastry sheets are, as vegans, we don't always think about using them, or at least I didn't always think about using them, but they've recently, that one needs a little more, become one of my faves because it does definitely make life easy. I even like to do a vegan shepherd's pie. Oh yeah, beautiful. With the vegan shepherd's pie, I use this as the crust, and that's really, turns out really, really nice. I use lentils and all sorts of vegetables in the base, and then Now as it's starting to warm here, so it's kind of like I'm in this peak section, the dough does start to get almost like too malleable. And so even though it's easy to work with, you want to work with it relatively quickly so it doesn't get too warm, because then it's not going to stick together and not going to sort of hold on to that shape. Okay, so we got the last one all rolled up here. Beautiful. Beautiful. These are so pretty, you guys, except for that first one, which is a little bit more turnover style. You can definitely do that. Just keep in mind that, so I used 8 peaches, you know, so about 1 peach for each thing. I still have a little left over. But if you weren't gonna do this kind and you wanted this kind, you probably need more like 4 peaches. So I like the fruit. So I'm going to put this in the 375 oven for about 14 to 16 minutes, depending on it. If you like to get it golden brown, you can, again, dust some sugar on top. If you are vegetarian, not vegan, you can brush egg white on top, and then it gets really golden brown. And you can also leave it as is, which is what I'm doing. And I will check back in with you when they are all delicious and good to go. Alrighty, we are back, and the tart peach loveliness just popped out of the oven. So we're gonna go ahead and see what it tastes like. So they scoop up nice and well, I will say that. However, unlike a traditional turnover, where if you put less filling in and you fold it all the way over like I did at the beginning, these ones are going to be best enjoyed with a fork, simply because they're just a little sticky on the outside. And this is probably going to burn my mouth, but I really can't wait. Whew. It's hot. It's really, really good. Peachy, sweet. You got that like buttery sort of texture going on with the crust. Definitely a winner. Peach tart dinner. Until next time, keep it kind. Ooh, it's so good.